What is up, SML? It is Prime-Time000, and welcome to my first ever SML mock draft that I've done on my own anyway, as far as I know. Now, as you can see here, I've got an AI tool. Thank you to the collaboration I had with Forverts Podcast, who helped create a tool that has the teams rated in order. It's got some interesting stats. It's got all the top players, where he thinks they're ranked in draft capital. This tool I combined with our team selection draft order as well as division ownership. If you guys want to use this tool and think it'd be cool to have on our website, let me know. Tag me in chat. But I'm going to try to go through this fairly quickly because I don't want to talk for 25 minutes straight. So going to be a fast-paced mock draft here. Starting with the first pick, I just got to say it clear. Yes, their draft capital sucks. 31st in the league. Yes, the quarterback position could end up being terrible with Anthony Richardson being cut or traded before 53, but I'm taking the Colts. Now, we've heard Bomber whiffling a little bit. Does he go Browns? Does he go back two straight seasons with the Browns, possibly a third because they'll have a rookie quarterback next year? Or does he take a team like the Jets or the Raiders? But then I was looking at this Lions team. Top 10 in draft capital. They got a fast running back. They got some young tools he could trade away. He just had his best cycle of his SML career. Why not run it back with an elite team now and try to mix things up? I don't see it happening. I think he's going to end up going with the Jets. I think that after I took the Colts, Bomber won't feel the pressure to take an elite team. So he's going to go take the New York Football Jets. And then Dan's looking, well, shoot, prime Colts. Bomber Jets, I got to take my hometown Steelers. Otherwise, I'm kind of a weakling kind of thing is what Dan's going to be looking at. Matt then is going to be a guy who he could take anybody, anywhere, at any time. But I think Matt's going to do some talking. He's going to talk to some of his future division mates because he doesn't want to be in a division he doesn't like in the SML. So he's going to run up and he's going to take the Atlanta Falcons. They got the running back that I'm drawing the blank on, Bijan Robinson. They're young. They got speed. They're in a dome. It's out of the AFC with some of these elites. He's going Falcons. That then lets AJ walk up and take his hometown Saints, right? Why not? He's going to run that division rivalry back with Matt. Makes perfect sense. And this is where I predict something crazy to happen. Woods wanted a Patriots team. It made sense for Woods to take the Patriots. But he's looking at this draft, and he's like, shoot. I don't have a shot to make a Super Bowl if Prime, Bomber, and Dan are in the same conference again. So I'm going to walk away from the AFC. I'm going to have to make a draft day adjustment here. And that's when Woods joins the same division as Matt and AJ. And he takes the Buccaneers. So if we look at our division, 3 teams filled up, 4, 5, and 6. Woods had a contingency plan the whole time. He thinks he can compete in that division. And all 3 guys feel strong. At least that they can all like playing each other. Raider fan is now contested with, do you take the Raiders? You know, they got Brock Bowers. They've got the young rookie quarterback in Mendoza, but they got some major holes. Does he take his favorite team again? But he's got the rookie quarterback. And I'm going to say no. Raider fan wants speed. Raider fan's going to take the Detroit Lions here. I think it makes sense. I think they're a strong team. Raider fan was on the cusp of making multiple Super Bowls last cycle. He gets away from the elites. He's got a top team in a lesser top-heavy conference. So he takes the Lions. KP then, who had been talking to Bomber, buttering him up, making some lies like he normally does. He looks at his favorite team, the Browns. They're number 2 in draft capital. They don't have a quarterback, but they got some young pieces. Bada bang, bada boom. KP gets his hometown team. He takes the Cleveland Browns. So now you look at the elites, some of the top players in the SML, Prime Colts, Bomber Jets, Dan Steelers, KP Browns. Some of the top players in the SML all took lesser teams, all in the top 10. So when people cry about their draft spots, this is a real possibility that this could happen. And that's why you never know what will happen in the SML draft. Now, Hurts money, again, it's an interesting situation. He's left with the idea of, does he take a team in that stacked conference, or does he try to have a mental reset? I think, and I'm not bragging here, but I completely annihilated young Hurts' confidence the last time we played in the same division. So I do think he's going to be wise. I do think he's going to leave town. But I think that we could see something interesting here. I think that he doesn't want to take a stacked team. I don't think he wants to take a team that's overpowered. He's a team builder. I think it would make sense for him to take a team like the Eagles or the Rams. I was really eyeing that Eagles team for a while, but there's something about that interstate rivalry. So he's going to take the Arizona Cardinals. They've got Marvin Harrison Jr. They've got Jeremiah Love. They're number one in cap space. They've got flexibility. So he's going to take the Cardinals. Meatson is going to see that, and he's going to run straight to the board. It's Raider fans' division, but they've got a fast quarterback in Caleb Williams who's got 97th row power, 91 speed, in a Madden where quarterbacks with speed are higher valued. Meats runs and takes the Bears, and he's loving it. He's loving it. That division's tough, but you're going to have at least one good guy in your division in the SML. DW's then left with the decision. Does he go and join, again, the NFC South, where he thinks he can at least maybe halfway compete and not be miserable? Or does he just take a team he thinks he can have fun with? I think DW just tries taking a team that he thinks he's going to have fun with, and he takes the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it makes sense. They're a strong roster. They got Patrick Mahomes. They got some speed at receiver. DW doesn't have to do a whole lot with them, doesn't have to put a lot of time into the game in the offseason. He's got his roster built out. I think it makes sense. Tug now, again, I think we're going to see a lot of the guys who were mid-tier or almost on the peak of being elite last cycle bolt from the big three or big four in the AFC and go to the NFC. I think we're going to see that again here with Tug. Obviously Tug lives in that area where the Bears are popular, where the Packers are popular, Lions are popular. But I think he's going to go and he's going to decide between the Eagles and the Rams. And I think that Straw's picking there right after him. And Straw has already messaged him and said, please don't take the Eagles. I want to be my Eagles. Tug says, you know what? I'll let you be your Eagles, man. Jake, hey, I'm going to take the Cowboys because you could be the Eagles, but I'm going to beat your butt every season when that happens. And then Straw is happy. He says, okay, I'll take that bet. I'll take the Eagles. So then you have Tug and Straw filling out the NFC East. They've talked about it. They like playing each other. They're both dynamic passers. Tiny Titan. It's interesting, man. He's looking around, and he's looking at this division. He sees Prime as the Colts, but then he sees DW as the Chiefs. And he's looking at all these divisions. Where could Tiny go? Where could Tiny go? And he's looking. It's a hard choice. Does he go with the Titans? Is there a team he really likes to be? He could be the Chargers and run Herbert into the ground. A lifelong dream of his. And he says, you know what? He gets a little frisky on draft night, and he takes the Tennessee Titans. And I hope he doesn't do it for the sake of his SML career, but I think he's going to do it. And then MMX walks up, and he's eyeing the Texans. He's eyeing them, and he's about to make the pick. But then Prime-Time000 says, MMX, stop. Stop the count. I want to play Stavo. Please don't take the Texans. So MMX looks again, and he's looking. Who could he be? And then he sees that AFC West. He sees DW in there. So he's like, well, shoot, let me take a team I like. And he's paging through. And he's like, you know what? I'll take the Raiders. They got a young Mendoza. They got some young pieces. They got Brock Bowers. They're sitting there. They're a good value pick. Weak division, in his opinion. And then NYT, who is looking at that weak division. He's like, well, where do I go? Well, he's like, AJ, Matt, and Woods. I'm going to go NFC South. He's like, I don't care who's in that division, who the teams are. I just want to play with people I like playing with. So he's going to take the Panthers. It's going to shock some people because there's some really good teams left on the board. But I think NYT joins the division where he doesn't mind playing the people. I think it just makes sense. Pick 17, Soda. Again, we've seen some good players last cycle that didn't win any Super Bowls. Well, Soda's one of them. So I think he's going to go off and he's going to take the Green Bay Packers. It's his hometown team. Again, I think it makes sense. Prime then bullies Stavo into taking the Houston Texans. I think he has to do it. Eddie is just stupid enough to join the AFC. With all these tough guys. And I think he's going to look at the Broncos team. He's going to see that division. And he's going to see DW and MMX. He was in a weenie hut last year. And he says, sign me up for the Denver Broncos. And he's going to take them. QP then says, I'll battle you out. He gets his Chargers. I mean, I think that could realistically happen, those three in a row. And I think we could see the Eddie QP. We've seen Eddie and Tug. We've seen QP and Tug. Now we're going to see Eddie and QP. Dump is guy's pick of the litter, and there's some solid teams, some elite teams left. I don't think Dump is one that fears anybody, but I think Dump is a guy of common sense. And I think if it makes sense for him to look over at the NFC West and he's looking at Hurts, but I think there's enough bad blood there where he kind of avoids that division. I think he does. So he goes back to his chart here. He's looking. Is it the Rams? Nah. He's looking. And that Jackson Dart, New York Giant team. Let's check that division real quick. See who's in there. Tug and Straw. That's a tough division. But I don't think Dump gets too riled up. Jackson Dart. I think there's some ties there. So I think he's going to take the New York Giants, and that'll be interesting to see how that works out. ZBD. Who knows what ZBD is going to think? Here's what I think. ZBD, he's an AI bot. He's auto. He's going to take the best team on the board, and that's the Rams. He thinks he's going to steal some Barty, lesser conference. It makes sense. Fig, who's got a fast receiver? That's my question. I'm looking through. I mean, the Seahawks probably have one, but Fig's got the Patriots. They got their quarterback situation is better than it's been in a long time. I think he's going to take his hometown Patriots. Trick then is left with a decision of his own, and he's going to look through. And you got Bomber and Fig in a division. Does Trick want to join Bomber's division? Probably not. Hurts and ZBD and the NFC West. You could probably take. I could see Trick being the Seahawks out west anyway. Not nice. I think he's going to completely avoid the AFC. So we're probably going to see him take a team like the 49ers. Steel curtain. No way he's going to take the Rams. Man, the Bills, the Bengals. I mean, I think this AFC is going to get really stacked. I think he's going to let's see how this Bills team would look in Bombers division. That would be fun. I'll watch that. I would pay money to see that. Torque is going to come in. I don't know if he wants to join the NFC North again. I could see Torque making a decision to take the Commanders to, I don't know. Yeah, I think he's going to avoid the AFC, honestly. Doink don't care. I don't think Doink's going to join Bombers division, but I can see him joining Dan and KP's division. I can see him using Joe Burrow, Set Feet Lead. Well, Set Feet Lead's dead now, isn't it? Dolphins maybe? Who's in that division? Bomber Fig. No, I don't think he wants to be in Bombers division. I'm gonna mark him up with the Bengals. Fins. You think Fins is gonna go to the Dolphins? Bomber, Fig, Steel. Ooh, that's some tough division. I mean, these are all tough divisions. I think he's gonna take his Dolphins. 8-1. I think 8-1's gonna be stupid, and I think he's gonna try to prove a point. So he's gonna take the Jaguars. Filthy, Ravens, and then Slice is the Minnesota Vikings, and that is my SML team selection draft board. Let me know what you guys think. It's my first whack at it. I didn't spend any time prepping, so if you guys had some sort of things you put in chat on who you said you were going to take, well, I didn't read any of it, just so you guys know. So sorry in advance, but I don't want to let this go on too much longer. So thanks again for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. SML's back.